They stepped out of the earth, their skin the color of leaves, their eyes wide with hunger, and their voices speaking a language no one could understand. The year was somewhere in the mid-12th century, in the quiet fields of Suffolk, England. The village of Woolpit was small, ordinary, unremarkable. Farmers worked the land, bells called villagers to church, and the rhythm of life was steady, predictable. But on one summer's day, something happened that would burn itself into history. Something so strange that even centuries later, historians cannot explain it. Two children appeared at the edge of the village, a boy and a girl. They were young, thin, frightened, and their skin was green. The villagers stared in disbelief. The children were dressed in rough, unfamiliar clothing, made of material nobody recognized. They spoke, but their words were unlike any language known to England, France, or even the far corners of Christendom. Their eyes darted around with confusion, and when food was brought, they rejected bread, meat, even fruit. They would eat only raw beans, tearing them open with trembling hands, devouring them as if they were starving. Some whispered that the children were spirits. Others muttered about demons or fairy folk that had stumbled too far from their world. But the priest of Woolpit, hoping for compassion, took them into his home. For weeks, they survived only on beans. Slowly, the children began to adapt. They learned bits of English, their skin lost some of its greenish hue, and the villagers began to believe they might uncover the truth. But then the boy grew weak. He became ill, wasting away despite the food and care given to him. Within months, he died, leaving only his sister to speak for them both. And what she eventually revealed would haunt Woolpit forever. As her English improved, she told her caretakers of the land they came from, a place with no sun, a twilight world where everything was tinged with green. The sky, the fields, even the very people. She said they had been tending animals when they heard the sound of bells. Following the sound, they entered a cave, and when they emerged, they were in Woolpit, a land without sunlight, a world hidden beneath the earth. It was madness. Yet the girl never changed her story. Over time, she grew into adulthood, integrated into English society, and even married. But the memory of her arrival never left the town. Two children emerging from the ground, carrying a secret that no one could explain. For centuries, the story was passed down, recorded by chroniclers like Ralph of Coggeshall and William of Newburgh, men who collected the accounts not as fables, but as history. The question remained, who were these children, and what was the truth behind their green skin? Some historians argue they were Flemish immigrants, displaced by war, wandering into Woolpit half-starved and sick. Their strange language could have been Flemish dialect, unfamiliar to English ears. Their green skin, the result of malnutrition, a condition known today as green sickness or chlorosis. It is a rational explanation, but even if that were true, how do you explain their story of the underground land? Was it merely a child's imagination, or something far darker? What if the children were not immigrants, but survivors of a hidden community, people forced to live underground, in mines or caves, for reasons lost to time? If so, their description of a twilight world may not have been fantasy, but memory. A land beneath the earth, where sunlight never reached, where strange diets changed their bodies, and where a forgotten society may have thrived in isolation. And then there are the whispers of the supernatural. In medieval England, tales of the Fae were everywhere. Stories of children stolen by fairies, replaced by changelings, or drawn into realms of eternal twilight. Could the Green Children have been escapees from that world? If so, why did one of them die so quickly? Was it because the human world rejected them, or because they were never meant to leave? Here's the detail most people forget. The girl claimed she and her brother had been herding animals in their homeland when they heard the bells. But what bells? Woolpit's bells would not have carried into another world. Unless, of course, there was a connection between the realms, a passage that opened only rarely, luring them across. Even stranger, Woolpit itself was named after wolf pits, deep traps dug in the ground to catch wolves, and it was near these pits that the children were first seen. Some believe the pits were not traps at all, but entrances, remnants of an older system of tunnels, long forgotten, that connected our world to something else. Did the children climb out of those pits, or were they pushed out, expelled from their own world into ours? Theories abound, but none answer the ultimate question: why did they come here? The girl lived out her life in England, yet never seemed to belong. Some accounts suggest she grew wild, reckless, even immoral by the standards of the time, as if she carried something with her, a shadow from that twilight land that never left her soul. And still the mystery lingers, because Woolpit has never forgotten. Travelers to the village say that on certain nights, strange lights flicker near the old pits, and some locals swear that if you listen carefully, you can hear faint voices speaking in a language nobody knows, a language that might just be the same one spoken by the Green Children all those centuries ago. So who were they? Starving refugees, survivors of a hidden cave society, or something not human at all? One thing is certain. In the heart of medieval England, two children appeared where no children should have been, speaking words no one understood, their skin green as the leaves of summer. And though centuries have passed, the question they left behind has never been answered. So I'll leave you with this. If you were walking by the fields of Woolpit one evening and saw two pale green figures watching you from the shadows, would you dare to follow them if they beckoned? Or would you run, knowing that some mysteries are not meant to be solved?